tryna go be. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down when the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throwed and blinded my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Knowing you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up.
Back up.
I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm lit it. I know that you tryna go be. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Better kill it and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
As this crowd rolled into U.S. Bank Stadium, they were bundled up, jackets and scarves, downright cold outside on this November evening, but all good here inside as we welcome you to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Here we go! 60 outlaw.
Watch a slap. Watch a slap.
Now the first carry for Bryce Love. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a give running right is Love. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Let's go now. 60 or. Come. Snap.
It'll be Love to try and get the first. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on fourth down. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
We got this. Go. Put up. Hey, Alpha. 2.
Here's Jones, operating from the gun. It's caught. Smith. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Shotgun handoff now for Love. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
Hey, Jack.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
All day, every day, any day. 53's the mic. 53, check 53. Pick it up.
Jones now throwing on 1st down. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. But he's got Smith here. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Set, ready, go to base. 6, watch the pass,
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. On 2nd down, here's Murray. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Second down, Murray sets to throw. Caught by Jones. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On 2nd and 9, Jones. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off, and his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. On the toss, it's Gurley. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on fourth down. Fourth down, and on is Greg Joseph for the Browns field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Joseph is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They're going to try the jet sweep on 3rd and long. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Certainly feels like the classic second guess, but let's be honest about it. They had a chance going to halftime with the lead. Why did they take a chance with a throw there? I don't understand that.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. And now this defense has to try to protect that lead going into the locker room. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, here's Love. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. after the loss to start out. Here's 2nd and 11. So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Throwing, Jones. And that's complete. It's the tight end, Daniels. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Look, squeeze. You better free. There you go.
On 3rd down, here's Love. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be spotted on the right hash, a 52-yard attempt. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Browns drive about to get started. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now Jones, and he finds his target. It's Marquise Goodwin. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
At the 24-yard line.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd and 5. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Eric Kendricks in on the tackle. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Murray sets to throw on 4th. Flushed out right. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, they thought they were going to break the tie. The defense had other plans. They were already in field goal range, but boom, an interception.
I don't know if this was a case of being a little bit too greedy with the opportunity to put points on the board, but give credit to the guys on the defensive side. Hung in there, battled, and made a key play.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey,
Ready.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
let's get off the field, D. Let's get off.
On second down, Love. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
Come on, set. 50, plant. Hey! Ready?
Back to you.
Stay grip.
Here's Love again, and he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Taking it about the 36. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively.
This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Browns have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 10-3.
Vikings 3.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Ready,
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Go.
Jones going to throw again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
Let's go. 15 running. Here we go, D.
After the turnover, here's Murray. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
A gain of 8 yards, and it's third down.
Set, hut, 70 ending.
It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time.
Throwing is Murray on third down. And he's going to be taken down. They sack him on what will be the final play of quarter number 3. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Got it.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Love here. And they'll hit him for a loss as he's back to his 2-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points, that means this is now a 2-score game.
Yeah, and that's tough to deal with, isn't it? This little time left. Those 2 points doesn't seem like a lot, but it means everything now. Those are going to be the ones we're going to look back on. Those 2 points right there, the play of the game.
The Browns drive about to get started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Don't be scared of it.
Watch out. Watch out. Mark 55.
To throw again on 2nd down. Murray forced out to, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sacked by the outside backer, Telvin Smith.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Murray, sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Back to throw. Jones looking here for Smith downfield. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
At the 41-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Another carry now for Gurley. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Browns on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is third down and 12. Now a draw play for Gurley. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. Give him 9 on the carry, but it's not enough. And it'll be fourth down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth.
First down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. Murray's going to look to throw this thing. Looking end zone for Jones. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Julio Jones. His second touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. Joseph now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. Just one last drive here for pride. Jones hit and the ball's out. And I think the Browns got it. They did.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Gurley And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Yet another carry here tonight for Gurley. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let